Alright, angelic house. Angelic house 170. May find angelic house. Because that's what we want to talk about. With Iris Irons 176.
Because then some other person come out of revival to
no man, Manuel revival.
Yeah, the other virgin from Scotch Park, the Indian daughter.
You mean Bongo Ken? Angelic House 128. 128, we're going too far. Angelic House, we tell you about the man, then what we are talking. Cocos back man, then 26. Yeah. Yes, 28. Media right so. Alright, no. Don't be so sound Rastafari. During the 1970s, Jamaican became increasingly familiar with Ital cuisine through the appearance of local food suffered by small-scale Rastafari entrepreneurs. Unlike the battery of I words associated with Rasta dialect, gain wide currency with many young Rasta speaking Jamaican Creole. No doubt of this fusion of the Rasta lexicon was greatly assisted by the work of popular artists like Bob Marley, who drew up elements of speech and code and music. I want to tell you something. The gap between superficial knowledge most of Jamaicans presently have of these codes are local knowledge. So we are talking about, we are going to dread talk now. What must I say now? Consider the following instances: Ayans, Ayomkom, Ayada, Ayasta, Ayoliai.
Yeah,
would you imagine?
I used to use
dread talk.
So I come know it.
Yeah.
We never say come, we say Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Ayanda.
Yeah.
Ayokom.
Yeah.
Them the words there.
Those words there, yeah.
Ayasta.
Yeah.
You see? Would imagine that these phrases are unintelligible to most Jamaicans as well as to a good number of Rastafari. Because the youth them would know it.
Them don't know it, man. They don't know the kind of language.
Yes. Yet these are expressions which were widely used by the first speakers of so-called dread talk.
True.
Which is the I word talk.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They are glossed especially as the Nyabingi order has arrived. And Rastafari, they were part of the I word lexicon, which first entered the soundscape of Rastafari in the early 1960s. So the 1960s, I word are coming, Rastafari own language. Saying, during this period, such phrases circulated as part of the evolving sub-dialect, which was speaking rapidly through the Rastafari camps of West Kingston.
True. And my brethren, them that time, we have Ralston and them never they say Selassie at that time. And they at them have them all kind of them with them talk then.
Yes. Moreover, the same cohort of dreadlocks who were in the vanguard of developing this song were similarly the most uncompromising advocates of the Ital dietary code.
So just like the virgin from upstairs there now too.
Irie, yeah. Ital, man them. But you see, to appreciate all these speeches and dietary codes develop, we need to understand this systematic linkage to what the Rastafari call levity. Levity gloss similarly is as lifestyle, encapsulate an underlying philosophy of a blueprint for a total way of life. So no man saying levity. Yeah, right around. So the levity is a total way of life, including how you talk, how you act, how you live with a woman, how you do everything. And just gentle man, levity.
Yeah, levity.
Yeah, total way of life. So what I must say now, Rastafari levity and language, by drawing extensively upon the oral testimony of a small cohort of Rasta who entered the movement in the 1950s. This group of Rastas who call themselves the Angelic House or Ignat, a crocus back then we are sackcloth, and them the man that we are talking about. So Iris now,
even the Bible they talk about sackcloth.
Yes. So Ras Iris over picture that him one of them.
Yeah.
And a pants and shirt man, you know.
True.
As a caucus bag man.
I like me know a virgin from over so. I tell the virgin area one deep one time. When me know that the virgin them him no wear pants, I thought rapper. No a rapper him wear the man wear pants.
So
over about no.
Yeah, no Bongo Tani. Tani I went and I bring you.
Yeah.
Tani I was one of them, you know.
Yeah.
But come up with the I language, you know.
Yeah.
I tell her iron scored, you know.
Yeah.
Bongo Tani was one of them.
True.
What come from what Angelites, who come with the codes.
That a town
Yeah, Angelites are you going to Harbour View the way there which part counters went there.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So after all, ethnocentric work on the Rastafari didn't begin in earnest until the 1970s. In addition, scholars have recognized the problem linked to a trace of ideological and cultural development. You see me? So we are talking about now how the language come out. You see me?
Yeah,
so
I and I hear no language, you know.
No. So you
like what we used to, yeah. Yako.
Yeah, you not speak that.
No.
So what we are saying?
Irie. Because see the Irie. I and I first come with that. When you talk anything, they say Irie man. Tell them a man you come use it.
Yeah, I'm making a radio station.
What did man name?
But him take it from Rasta.
Yeah, but me say no, Mr. You don't create that name.
No.
You refer from Rastafari. We come with that name when we things good. We say Irie man. When you talk and Irie man.
I'm an Irie.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm an go. Yol.
Yol.
Mean come.
Okay, Yol.
Yeah. So it's primary among elders of Rastafari Isle across the government now.
Yol mean yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Yol mean yes.
Yol mean yes.
Yeah.
Or I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And come our again. You say some Iko.
I come like a man go. Mango
man
is
go,
a I come.
Yeah.
Come on now go, you know. Man go, mango.
Yeah, mango, so we say I come.
Give her I come.
So that's a mango.
Oh, instead of mango, I come.
So you have a mango. I now to give her your mango, so give her your I.
I come.
So this is I word, form of the I word. So what I say, it was primarily among elders of Rastafari, Isle Selassie Chair across the government, were created by Bongo Yo.
You'll mean yes.
Yeah. So if I not talk and before a man says and say you lie.
Yeah, you lie.
I would say I is I, which is the same thing. I, which is more modern. So you swap up the you and use I is and Irie. You the same way. So now remember, so the elders of the Isle Classic government, you know, that was Bongo Yo and Bongo Puro.
Yeah.
Guys,
so when we go, so no one down there. We even going to bring it down with the theocracy. Yeah, Bongo Yo was.
That was before the Nyabingi.
Yeah, before Nyabingi.
What you?
Them the man them in charge when we left down here and Mount them Rasta and back we usually go a month go there.
Yes.
By the herb and come down for them the man they gave me this enough things the man yeah. And the man they rate me everywhere at Bongo Gill. We come here higher van and we gone every night bingy now. Yeah, and Bongo you and the man to go be a virgin there.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So what I said, the Nyabingi house is ritual community that defined by its voices. The process I'm describing, because the man talking by writing is commentary, and I have been progressively incorporated into a community of speakers. This has meant for acquiring familiarity with a discourse which is mainly layered. By this I mean Rastafari are men of words who address themselves passionately not only to concern of identity and ideology, but to concern of common morality and responsibility. So every word that come out. Morality and responsibility. They come together to fashion a continuous stream of reasoning, like what we are doing now, in which Jah is praised, inspiration is received, and ideological is produced. They are also collective of individuals who speak to each other, about each other, and about themselves and their experiences, like what we are sharing now. It says where you go, you know, see it. So, you know, so it's said. So the early days of my groundings, elders would frequently invoke personal testimonies of their calling to faith. So as the oral tradition come out. So what I say, we are talking about you black faith now. which is water.
Yeah, yeah.
Those of the youth Blackface were not alone in their work. There were others of the same general cohort, and in the late 1950s, about a decade after the youth Blackface began a younger generation of cohorts of Rastafari began to assess themselves. There was a transitional period, and reflecting that a current theme is evident, in which oral testimony of brethren who arose during that period, and there was a time of heavy discipline among Rastafari.
True.
So I believe this reflected the attempt of older brethren, both Comsom and dreadlocks, so the youth Blackface separate the Comsom man. Because remember say the bone of Jesus, you know. That's bone of Jesus, you know, the son of thunder, you know. And the dreadlock Rastafari them. So they figure say the Comsom Rasta is a weakling. You have to relax now.
Yeah, for even at them time when we know Rasta, Montego Bay, Comsom, all of them one there. Comsom Rasta,
you know, right, because it means that you don't go barber, you know.
No,
you know, use no scissors, you know.
No,
you brush back your hair.
Brush back your hair first. Yeah. You know, go trim.
You wait.
They no see when I there, right? Black barber, we no trim.
Yeah.
We no trimming no.
Yes.
All them go say we got no flax. And you go a river and book and trim. Him always got no flax and no hair, you know. Move and yeah, man, we no trim, no shave.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah.
Come some.
No barber business. No, kill barber.
So now, part of, you have a revival part. Part of this God may have been inspired by anti-revival reforms, you know, which you Blackface sought to implement. So the revival ways of life.
Yeah.
Which is the revival table and the vials and the flag and the rum and the goat. A revival attracts spirit, you know.
True.
A revival man attracts the ancestors are coming, you know.
Yeah.
So if when you play the harps a certain way, ancestors go rise and come.
Yeah, true.
So man talk about on dopey business and so, but I don't really that is African spirituality and dopey thing. No.
And same thing usually go on a pinnacle.
Yes.
Yeah. As
I transition.
Yeah, man. When the Irish and Irish meeting, I bring on all things, man. All things, yeah, man. Irish.
So many of the younger adherents who came in the movement during the 1950s and who embraced the dreadlocks covenant rejected the exclusive authority of older Rastafari, be the Comsom or dreadlocks. So when the youth man come to the faith, he said, old man stay one side, man. We are young man now. We are lax.
Yeah.
Either your dreadlocks or something you can come talk to because we have a different energy.
Yeah.
So all the energy when the Comsom man carry come, the young man said, no, we not deal with that no more. So the revolutionary change in the movement, you see. Among other things, they consistently the idea that the Bible and in book, among other things, they contested the idea that the Bible and in book central to the street meeting area. So the Comsom man having Bible and in book, like a priest brown.
Priest brown there are, but remember it's a priest brown when they're down a river, down
yes, man.
And not right there.
I mean down there too. I don't know, I live, you know. That's good there. Yeah, man. We are Gully man, you know, Canterbury man, you know. I original Gully man. I never grow.
When the boss this up. Could he? Remember the post office, so you usually have some essence grass and some flowers right there.
Yes.
In those time again, the market policeman and usually wear red pants in
yes.
You know, one smoke.
I mean, as a countryman from right where we come from.
And I'm going to 2 seconds.
Oh, you can't, you don't know.
And that's what me live, man.
What you mean, man?
That's what me there. Yeah, man. But when we never to like upper Cody, they have to go through too much people yard, gate, and very open.
So, what the young Rasta them contest is say, among other things, they contested, because you have the Comsom and the dreadlocks. They say, among other things, they contested the idea that the Bible and in book, because remember, Rasta man sing out a in book, you know. He not sing out a headspace no more. No. So we say a Sankey and Moody. Sankey is a white man and Moody is a white man and create a hymn book. But man sing out that. So him saying contest the hymn book and the Bible central to street meeting. So should be the only source of inspiration for members of the movement. The solution required a deeper spiritual search.
Yeah.
I said, no man, something deeper than that. They're around.
They're around, yeah, man.
So I don't know man about Bible.
No. But what, you know, condemn the Bible, you know?
No,
That's a deeper.
Yeah, for example, they say we no condemn the truth.
Yeah.
You see, we
So
go
I
down
really
there,
a burn there.
Yeah.
I really
No.
need to seek more knowledge.
Yes.
I want to bring it down, say nothing. And some brethren come and turn on one chuck, you know. And the North Bible never see them man they burn.
Alright.
It's terrible, yeah. Terrible, man. Enough of them brethren there, you know.
So, White say, on this point, how many times one or two Bible in a fire?
In a fire, man.
Two Bible, man.
In a fire, man.
Burn up in fling in a fire.
Some things go
What
on.
thing? Man, I take Bible leaf rolling spliff.
Yeah.
And then the levels of man when they
Like me, they watch a picture with a movie with Kingston man, them, and one next brethren again, and where and he went shoot one man before he shoot the boy, you know. He tell him that as if he carry the Bible come.
Okay.
And he tear out a leaf and make a big school. That time he had a big gun, you know. And my man sit down just like how the I sit down there. And he repeat the Psalms, you know.
I just saw Jimmy Cliff. One bad man Rasta would take the Bible, leave right, rolling spliff. How with Ozzy? Say no respect the Bible.
Yeah.
And take a leave, rolling
Yeah.
spliff.
And
So man burn the Bible in the ganja.
And
So the contest, the ones them contest the Bible, probably some other one take that misconception still. Instead of dig deeper for more knowledge, they want disregard the Bible. That wasn't the really
no.
mission was for you still use it as a reference. But still I dig deeper for more knowledge.
As Rastafari say, it's not everything in the Bible and I pick up in. But we use the best of it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
True, just like in a Genesis,
Yeah,
you tell you the things that we have to eat. And all of them type of
Because
things.
remember when I when just arise, you know. Sometimes data gonna run in this Bible, you know, tell you about the cucumber and tell you about this and tell you about that, and then data comes in the
grains.
Oh, you show preference, you know?
Yeah.
You're a Nazarene.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to read that.
Yeah, you read that there.
But that's strange.
Gonna run and she come and she you know.
See, see the prophecy there. I say if you try.
Yeah, man.
So, what it has said furthermore, it has said, originally this group of some, among which a few young members determined to carry locks. So the Scomes was split now, and a few members decided to carry locks. It was later, perhaps in late 1958 to 59, that the locksmen in this mixed group split to form the House of Bonages, which is the House of Dreadlocks. So the younger ones they rise up in the movement and say, oh, Rastaman, you're Asian, but you know, we are different outlook now. We now already come some again. You're going to reveal yourself as Dreadlock Rastafari. And certain things what I do, I now going to do that no more. So the revolutionary change in the movement, like a step up change now. You know, see me?
For most I think that no for them man into idle now.
Yeah. So the House of Bonji and exclusively Dread Solidarity. They are seen. So the House of Bonages and the House of Dreadlocks is Bongo Water.
The Bonages, man.
Bongo, Son of Thunder. Take it from the Bible.
Okay, Bonages.
Bonages are the sons of thunder. So we just say, Brass Bonages are the sons of thunder. But if Bonages mean the sons of thunder, it's biblical, you know.
Yeah, the sons of thunder know where one band.
There's a band, but a biblical people, like the disciples of Christ, same way, you know. Said we. So, they say at the time in Abaka, which is Bakawal, man spring up them own different kind of Rasta. This one Rasta they speak now, you know. Different Rasta was still existing, but in only after the 1958 convention, close date have been the springing of the Nyabingi. This is the lax dread form up and come right up. We all the Rasta were talking of the Coptic house. When the man come and low rate Coptic. So they use them burn out Coptic.
But they ain't not about Coptic again.
So it's a revolution in a Rastafari. With the young energies them now.
Yeah, because look, the Coptic church was a part of Rastafari.
Yes.
Yes. About the Coptic,
so they use them come and low rate the Coptic. Because them see a different level now. That is seen.
So what was the Coptic?
Do the Coptic, man. Do the Coptic.
What was their doctrine?
Okay. Just like the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Coptic was before the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Because remember, say, in the coronation, you know, the Coptic priest was there.
Yeah.
At the coronation, Iowa.
Yeah.
The Christianity.
Yeah.
Remember, say, you know.
Yeah, Boona was Coptic.
Remember, say, they did come here, you know, man.
Yeah, man.
There one place of a man to go there and get you baptized, you know.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I build on a bongo you the same time one time and then come and say, man, so we now go up there.
Alright, it's a revolutionary thinking.
No, man, they baptize man and give man paper too. Yeah. We never go up there and all bongo wax it.
So being dreadlocks now and you lax man now, you look on things different.
Yeah.
You separate from the Asian trad. You see the Rastafari, you know. You look on appearance and what you do. Within yourself, you know, say, we're going to try this away, because when you try that way, we don't like that way. So it's coming every generation. So the Asian brethren, some of them fall, that means they leave Rasta, some of them pass off, some still in themselves, since plenty of the old time Rasta couldn't take the message of the dreadlocks. Now, man, they couldn't take the message. So they use them come over revolutionary. And the Asian more see them say, no man, you not step like a no man, so they will just start up. And you still see today.
Yeah, right now.
You still see, because when an Asian speak, you know, him not much talk, you know, or you to override him.
Yeah.
That's what him say.
Yeah, so him see.
That's what him think. And feel time over. Because most of the time when man are talking in the house and Asian, no man, your time done. Which is wrong, see him.
Yeah, right now the youth
cancel them out.
Right now the youth them say Jagan, you know.
Aye. You see me? There's a few people outside and inside Rastafari Liberty know to what extent the process of creating development and accepting some hygiene as a lifestyle in Rasta have changed the character of Rastafari Liberty. Within dread hygiene does not the hairstyle change from a combed afro to an uncombed plaited flowing locks. But the talk all language changes the food, smoke, clothes, dance, music, and so forth. Plenty of Rastamen could not over dreadings, because hygiene same, because this is an I word same way, and rejected it. However, most of those who had done so at the beginning embraced by 1961. So you see the change in the movement that come through with the young blood them. I want them to sight up. It is still good because we ionize that today, you know. Because if that change never big up, I wouldn't have no locks.
No.
But we still have come some movement. So it is good. Although it was hard at that time for the Asians them.
And not only that, the youth them probably get the opportunity if they can read more. So them are gain more knowledge and put to the table. It's a hard for the Asian them stomach it still because you understand? And them never really sight that, but the youth them sight up certain things and have to bring it forward.
So it I tell you, say now, what really kept up the movement to this day is the youthful generation. So come back to that, you know. Our research will show you, you know. It was more a youthful generation, a new set of people came in now to carry on the Rastafari movement differently from the old man style Rasta vibes. These elders who were preachers in revival mold. As their journey, I know say the revival changed from the sermonies. So we did not acknowledge there. Congo want to change the whole thing to a tabernacle settings now. The revival of in table in the beginning.
You look at flowers
and in flowers and in table and revival, yes, having secretary and in chair, revival with a meeting and reporting now. So now being adapt the part there. So it become now the table man, which is the chair, and the pen man, which is the secretary. And you have the structure of the name being, you know, with the harps them and name being settings, the music settings. So it come out of groundation back into a tabernacle.
I remember, so when they go and they being assembly when you used to say, you know, we never say Naya being, you know. We go in and
so tell me about the experience of assembly in a few time. What was the assembly? How it keep?
Just like the Naya being this year.
So how the priest function in the assembly? Either a priest or administer, or a man just come chant.
Man just come chant, we never have no priestly.
No priestly is not dead.
No.
So in at the time, the man will advertise Nayabingi, the Nayabingi will keep tomorrow or next day, or man just know when to come.
No, we know. Man tell you when Nayabingi they go.
Right.
No, Nayabingi are the name now, as Assembly.
Assembly. I say kind of a Nayabingi, yes, correction. Give thanks. Give thanks. Yes.
Assembly.
So when I go to the Assembly, suppose the Assembly of the coronation of His Her Majesty. The next one be announced. So it'll be circulated around. So you don't have no poster they put out like I know. I don't on no radio. I know man come and invited people to come. Word sound. Yes. And what would happen to one of my research is that I want to keep an assembly. I choose the place. And one will gather and prepare the place. So you don't have a man come in know saying why carry amok. I know so we're going to look for food. We're going to carry food, everything. So it would be an assembly for a tree light. Or a strong in or whatever. Or when that they done the anything put up burn down. Anything touch our man just burn out that and that the place they done. So it would not be a permanent structure. And that's the joy of the early Iowas. Fit for the first tabernacle. And then the 70s, you know.
Fit for was the first tabernacle.
Physical structure.
When I and I, the west and I being upper, down
outside, right?
I just set up.
And Kingsville to never have no tabernacle. Elements of face. Will be the same way.
No.
St. Mary, St. Thomas, same way. No physical. They know. Yes, always
from them Iowa.
From long time. We never go up there.
True.
Never
tried on the side, the tabernacle, the heights.
So we could reason for the level. Alright now. This is educational time now. You see it's a reading time, but some Rasta don't send them you to school. I was talking about it now. I that type of person living in a tattoo. That would mean a shack. But when you come,
I prayed for that, so we used to move. And I have long enough that I may live wrong, same way. Them that are not even nail.
You're not trying to nail Congo.
No nail. We put the board and we bamboo them, see, and I try with tire drive same thing. No nail, man.
You call it one tattoo.
Tattoo. And we grass, we walk and all.
You touch it.
You
touch it.
Yeah, we touch it.
You touch it.
That time my old man house did their daughter. She say I no, she gone up a house man there. Now they do them stay among sign and we touch it. Yes. So man having a tattoo. So Irish I know said one now. But when you come here, you see a library with different books upon the African struggle. I could argue on international affairs with anyone, though I read the Gleaner and different books upon the African struggle, those elderly sort of brethren became some of those brethren who hasn't been ready and brought through the school of knowing and word meaning. So when you come on Irish Iron tattoo, you might be in library and he read and he educate and want to listen. Because him on a different level, you know. True.
Because that's the groundation come and the reason come. They are saying, yeah man, them elderly brethren like Hill and Truman don't speak what we speak. Yet every youth that born and grow up in that dispensation of time go to school. So we would know something out there. They would even want to get more education by associating with other youth outside the home. So I say grow up. That's how it grow up. You
say, I'll go to school and you know go, the one wanna go to school now. Come now to as like a friend now.
Yeah.
One who would go to school.
Yes, and he learn.
Mm-hmm. In the first couple of years, my youth never did go to school now.
Of course.
My father, a bright man, passing second year, my teaching them how to go to school.
So,
so that's the stress education.
Yeah,
right.
Them go to school, them tell, not my two youth, them go to school.
Alright. See, them say they could even want to get more education by associating with the youth outside of the home. Who couldn't read and write much is the elders. That is clear. Because the Asians them never go to school. They couldn't read and write. But that not still them still Rasta.
True.
And then they carry the trad to that level there. So then the oral tradition, when I give thanks for.
Yeah, you listen.
Yeah, you listen and you learn.
And
You listen and you learn. You see me?
Education not come to only book.
No.
Orally.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Alright, talk about Warrior Hill now, which is Warika Hill now. Warrior Hill and Egypt. I tell Genesis, the topic. One of these camps formed in 1958, 57, 58 at the bottom of Paradise Street between General Penitentiary and Bellevue Asylum. It's a principal figure, yes, a principal figure was a resourceful young brethren from Jonestown, Maurice Clark, known as Iris Iron, same brethren in the picture. Iris. It says, I'm going to read it forward. From 1958 at the bottom of Paradise Street between General Penitentiary and Bellevue Asylum. You have a physical view there, sir. It's the principal figure was a resourceful young brethren from Jonestown called Maurice, known as Iris Iron at Jonestown. It come from Iris Iron.
next door to church.
Right. This quarter site became a herb camp which attracted Rasta and others who were not only came to purchase ganja. We soon come to this to purchase ganja, but to share the social activity and the quality reasoning at the camp. A camp's not Rastafari, you know. Every man have a camp, you know. Every yard is a camp. So at the camp a man can amok him, can food him, can ganja. And him say as long as him want, no man a run him. And every man welcome. You can't run him.
No man.
And you have space. If you don't have a space, then you find a space in the yard. And food ever there, the ganja ever there. And it's pure reason and chanting. You see me? But differently now, you visit some man, he can't find food. So I must say, within the time now, that change and some man no food for give you in the camp, you know, say it. So through this a small nucleus of young dreadlocks began to ground regularly with Ras Iris. Same Iris Iron. At that site, Aini came from Almantown, Rupert from West, Headful, Bongo Headful away, you know, from Bath in St. Thomas, right? After a police raid in 1959, the site was abandoned, but the network of brethren that had been established were proceeded within a short space of time to form two closely related camps now in the east and others in the west. So police raid one section, a man form another camp in the east and west, got it determined. The first camp was Warika. That's how we are reached now to them as Warrior Hill. So Warika will become Warrior Hill. You see me? The second was Bakawal. Them at the camp. Yes, widely known among Rasta at the time as Egypt. Where you sojourn and you go away from there. So between 1960 and 1964, this Bakawal, Warika in axis until peripheral, even in most Rastafari accounts, give rise to a unique chapter in the development of Rastafari cultural expression. So you don't know, say, are them two there, you know?
Yeah. Cause all bongo shanty when me say shoulda eat from alright, me no wish to say. Shoulda did get some of the money.
Emmanuel.
Yeah. Right, we go check him couple weeks now and me and I'm in the show and the thing.
Same chat
in one eye in I mean see what I wanna
oh
back a while them man they went there from and come back down here.